Wonderful. Okay, so coming to sit on your bottom. If you prefer to kneel, that's absolutely fine. I always take a little bit of height. So I've got a rolled up blanket here, a little bit of height underneath the bottom, and that just allows your sitting bones, the bones that you sit on, to be lifted up, and your pubic bone at the front to drop down, so you can be nice and tall through your spine like a mountain. So imagine the crown of your head is being lifted up towards the ceiling, and just allow your shoulders to be nice and heavy. I like to imagine there are weights at the base of my shoulder blades, just dropping the shoulders down. Fantastic. And we're going to go straight into diaphragmatic breathing, so full lung breathing. So if you take your hands and turn them around, so you have buzzy bee wings like this, put the back of your fingers onto your ribs just here. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. Make sure your jaw is nice and relaxed. And try breathing in and out of your nostrils and pushing the breath first down into the bottom of your lungs and then out into your hands. So you push your hands away and then let the breath come up. And then as you exhale, just let those ribs come back in again. So you breathe in, you feel your hands being pushed away, and you breathe out and you come back in. So we want to make the breath go here into these intercostal muscles between the ribs rather than just up in our chest area. So full breathing, slow breathing, and then imagine the breath is going into the back of your lungs. So almost as if your wings are at the back here, and as you breathe in, you're pushing your wings away. So you can use your imagination to get the breath to go into the bottom and the side and the back of your lungs. One more breath. Good. And then take your hands out, and as if you're tracing your hands around the big sunshine, take a deep breath in, pull your fingers up, and then go. So it's like a big, big sunshine with your hands, and then go. So it's like you're gathering up all the stuff, all the worry, and then you're just letting it go. Fantastic. And one more breath. We're going to do the buzzy bee breath. So it's the same thing, but imagine you have wings like a buzzy bee. We breathe in the same way, so we create this big expanded lung breath in, and then as we breathe out, we create a buzzy bee sound like a and that helps us to make the breath out really long. My 3 children are laughing at me at the moment, so this is very distracting. Take a deep breath in. Where's your buzzy bee hums? This is the Brahmaharya breath. Breathing in. You can imagine you're a buzzy bee on a big flower. Keep breathing out. My kids are laughing. It's really off-putting. Okay. All right. So we're going to let go of that. I want you just to remember that our breath, when it comes from the heart center and we pour it out, we start to stimulate the heart meridian all the way down through the inside of our arms. So just stretch your arms out like this. Take a deep breath in through the heart center. And then take the hands behind you, interlace your hands behind you, and then lift the heart again, stretch the chest muscles, and then come down. And take your blanket or your pillow out to the side and just come onto your knees. And we're going to imagine that we have now arrived in Africa. So imagine you're looking out over the savannah and you're looking out at the horizon, and we're watching the sun just starting to set, slowly coming down. Take the hands into the heart center. Press your hands together and imagine you are gently squeezing an orange between your shoulder blades. So this starts to activate your upper back muscles. And then we're going to use our bum muscles, our gluteal muscles, as we glide up and breathe in at the same time. So as you breathe in, gliding up, take your arms nice and wide as if you're looking at the sunshine, exhaling, coming down. Beautiful. Breathing in, elbows nice and wide and releasing down. So squeeze your gluteal muscles, lifting and slowly coming down. Now take the hands up towards the ceiling, lifting, stretching, and then swishing your hands down. Breathing in, squeezing those gluteal muscles, the bum muscles, and coming down. Now this time, take the hands up, take them behind you, and then stretch your hands in front of you for extended child. So knees are apart, fingers are nice and wide. Drop your hips all the way down to your heels. So we stretch the back line of the body. Fabulous stretch into the lower back. Stretch your paws onto the ground, but lift your wrists off the ground. So that gives you a clue where we're going next. I want you to imagine that you are a king of the jungle now. You are a lion, and start to bring your bottom up towards the ceiling. So we're stretching like a lion in the morning, either leaving your hands nice and wide and stretched out, or one hand in, one paw out, lengthening all the way in the underside of the arms. Good. And then doing that on the other side, stretching, releasing all the way out. We get a stretch underneath the armpits here. Imagine your tail is lifted, and then wag your tail from side to side, swishing your bottom from side to side. So now we squeeze the side waist, and imagine you are this big, ferocious lion, swishing your tail, and then coming into cat and cow, but we're going to make it angry lion and happy lion. So happy lion, tail is up. Angry lion, arch your back. Happy lion, take your tail up towards the ceiling. Angry lion, tuck your tail under. So breathe in to lift your tail and your heart. Breathe out to round your back. Let's add in a lion roar as we exhale. So breathe in and then stick your tongue out and go, ha. Breathe in and then make noise, ha. Like a big roar. Very nice. And swirl your big lion tail around. My 14-year-old son is loving this. And now the other direction. Big circles here. All right, so we're going to pretend we are a hyena now. Tucking your toes, pull your tail back and up. So you stretch into downward facing dog. We're going to be downward facing hyena. The hyenas always follow the lions. So press your heels down one at a time. This helps to stretch into your calf muscles. Now roll your shoulders away from your ears and try and create a straight back. Tail is lifted up towards the ceiling, towards the blue sky. Very nice. Now lift everything, stretch the whole back line of the body. And as you breathe out, drop down onto your knees to become a gazelle. So stepping your right foot forward. Make sure your knee is on top of your ankle. Press your back foot into the ground and then slowly draw yourself forward and take your antlers up towards the sky and lift your heart center and imagine you are leaping and trying to escape the hyena. Drop the shoulders away from your ears. Lift the ribcage away from your pelvis. Push your back foot into the ground. Very good. Now we're going to come into an open twist. So lead your top arm up towards the ceiling. Have your bottom arm pressing against the inside of your knee. You can imagine you are the gazelle. You have stopped. Turn your hand. Look for danger. Turn your hand the other way, looking for danger. Good. Giving your wrist a little twist. At the same time, press your elbow into your knee to open up your inner thighs. Very nice. And then come back. Draw your pelvis back. Lift your toes towards you to stretch your hamstrings. Lengthening out here. We want to lift our tails behind us. Pull our toes back. Get a long stretch through those hamstrings. Very good. Okay, tuck both toes behind you now. Knees together. Tuck your toes back to your downward facing hyena. Closing in on those gazelles. So walk your heels down towards the ground. Shoulders roll away from ears. Wonderful. Yap, 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 yap. Drop down to create your stretch on the other side. So taking your left foot forward this time. Very nice. Press your back foot into the ground and then draw yourself forward. Take your antlers up towards the sky. Lift your heart center. Imagine that you're having to leap. So as you leap, you press your back foot into the ground and create more stretch through the front line of your body. Breathing in again, big, big stretch. And then as you breathe out, take your hand, place it down towards the ground, open your chest, and then just turning your wrist, turning the whole arm in your shoulder socket, and make sure you press out through the inside of your knee to stretch your inner thigh muscles. Coming into an open lunge. Very nice. Coming back onto hands and knees, take your knees together, stretch out your hands, and imagine we have come across a big curled up snake. So take your hips into big circles like this. And as you drop your hips over to the side, feel your lower back having a massage and your hips having a massage. Big circles, and you can make snake-like noises if you would like. Very good. Now unwind the other way. The big cobra is unwinding. Nice big circles. Let your elbows be soft and your shoulders be soft, so the whole snake-like body is unwinding from its curls, and then slither down onto your tummies like so. Now we want to have the tops of the feet pushing into the ground. We want to have our hands underneath our shoulders, elbows squeezing in. As we breathe in, we fill the lungs up and the chest lifts, and we work into the extensor muscles of the back. As you breathe out, go deflate down. So inhaling, cobra, looking around, exhaling, breathing in. Snake-like movement, starting to really work the back muscles, but use your breath to let the chest inflate. Now take your forearms onto the ground and let your arms be quite wide. So a Sphinx pose, but a bit wider with the forearms. Let the chest draw forward and your shoulders draw back, and then drop one shoulder down towards the ground and look over and just check your snake feet are still there. Yes, and come back into the center and then twist the other way, looking over your other shoulder, up and exhale, twist. So we mobilize the upper back. You can imagine like a cobra, you're just up and looking around you, seeing who you might strike. Very nice. Seeking out your next victim. Come down. We need to be very, very quiet now because we are going into the river. Take your hands behind you, creating a long line like a crocodile. And as we inhale, pull your fingertips back, pull your toes back and up, crown of the head rocketing forward like you are a crocodile gliding through the river. And then slowly come down and let your whole body be nice and floppy as cooked spaghetti. Let your pelvis rock from side to side. And let's do that again. So roll your shoulders back, pull your fingers back towards your toes, point your toes, and as you inhale, pull your toes and your fingertips up as if you are a crocodile and you are gliding through the river silently but very strong. And then slowly come down. This time, take your hands underneath your forehead, shins tucked in. Take your legs wide as if you have crocodile jaws. And now we want to take our tummy buttons off the ground towards the spine. And as you exhale, snap your jaw legs together and then open your legs apart and snap them. So we're using our bum muscles. Snap. That's it. Make sure that if your lower back is sore, you take your feet a bit closer to the ground. And we go snap. That's it. And snap. Very nice. Just rest your forehead so we don't crick our neck. Snap. And snap. And snap. One more. Snap together. And then drop your toes in and your heels out. Toes in, heels out. So we create lots of space across the back of the body. Rest your forehead on your hands and breathe now into your belly and into the side waist here underneath your armpits and into the back of your lungs to see if you can create as much softness in the whole of your body as you can. You can rock your pelvis from side to side And breathe into all of the lung capacity, especially the back of the lungs. Feeling that breath stretching right underneath the armpits. Imagine you are flaring the breath in between your ribs like a fan. You're pulling your ribs apart with your breath. You're pushing your breath into the back of your lungs. Imagine you have wings, and every time you breathe in, your wings unfurl, and every time you breathe out, your wings come back in again. So breathing slowly, softly. Very nice. Now I'm going to get you to take your hands underneath your shoulders and gently push yourself back into this child pose, but we're going to be buzzy bee pose. So imagine you are a little buzzy bee and you've landed on a flower, and if you can, take your hands down beside your feet and let yourself curl into a tiny ball. If that's not comfortable, try stacking one fist on top of the other fist, letting your forehead just rest against your fist. And if you might have a pillow close by, you could always put your forehead on a pillow. And mums, if you find that bottoms don't come back to heels, slide a blanket or a pillow underneath your bottom. So we've got a bit of support there. That's the way. So keep allowing the shoulders to drop down away from your ears, and keep breathing into the back of your lungs, imagining you have those wings that are unfurling on the inhalation and dropping back in as you exhale. Imagine your buzzy bee wings are spreading and closing and spreading and closing, and allow your breath to become long and smooth and relaxed. Beautiful. Buzzy bee, buzzy bee. So let's do an exhalation like a buzzy bee breath. Breathing in. Calming down the mind. Very nice. Come back onto hands and knees, and then tuck your toes under and come back into your downward facing dog. Very nice. Take your feet together and then take your right foot out behind you, so you stretch into your left calf. Then try taking that foot towards your bottom, and then lift your knee and lift your hip and look underneath your armpit as if you're a dog having a pee against a tree. Fantastic. And then take that side down and try that on the other side. So you're taking your left foot out behind you, take it towards your bottom, lift your knee and your hip, look underneath your left armpit, having a pee against a tree. And then dropping down, very silly. So walk your dog feet up towards your paws at the front, and then let your knees be nice and relaxed. We want to have our toes in and our heels out. Hold on to your elbows and pull yourself forward. So imagine that you are a waterfall now, and as you pour the weight of your body down through your heavy arms, down through your head, you just feel like all of your worries, any sadness and things, is just pouring out of you here. We're very fluid. Very nice. Great. Take your hands down onto the ground. Now, push your feet into the ground. Push the floor away and slowly, 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 very water-like, come up. And then take your hands up towards the sky above you. Imagine if you're inside that the blue sky is clear above you. Stretch your fingertips up, and just like a waterfall, as you breathe out, go and drop down. And then push the floor away with your feet and flow back up again. So we come to the top of the waterfall, and then we go swish down to the bottom of the waterfall into the water, and then back up again, right to the top of the waterfall. This time, turn your body over your right knee and then go dropping down, and then let your left elbow pick you up. So you stretch the side of your body, come up and over to the other side, and go swish, exhaling. Let the elbow pick you up, so you feel as if you are a puppet on strings. So do that one more time on both sides, dropping down like a rag doll, swish, and the elbow picks you up, and you press your foot into the ground, stretching the whole side of your body. Body stretches as you lengthen up. Take the hands up towards the ceiling and go, very, very nice. Okay, so now we're going to take our feet wide, nice and wide. And I want you to now start to release energy through your body. So when we have strong emotions and we don't let them move through the body, it's energy that's not in motion. That's when things get stuck inside the body. So that can lead to feelings of dis-ease, and we can feel tense, and we get a lot of tension around our jaw and our shoulders. So we're going to come down like so. We're in a goddess stance, it's called. We have our bottom behind us, our knees are bent, nice and straight through the torso. And we're going to do an action as if we're chopping wood. This is called a kriya in yoga, and it's an amazing way to get energy flowing through the body and to just get our lungs working very, very fully. So take your hands together, and I want you to rub your hands. And as you rub your hands together, allow your brain just to turn on and let all the stuff, all of your worries about school and school friends and family that you're not with at the moment, worries about friends who might be in hospital, worries about the people who are working for us, the NHS, anything that is concerning you. Imagine the tap is turned on and everything is flowing down from your brain, from your mind, down through your arms and into your hands, and you're creating heat around all of that stuff. Very good. Rubbity-dubbity-dub, lots of heat between your hands, and then take your hands apart and just have a little play with that energy. Feel that warmth between your hands. Swirl that energy around and then squeeze it between your hands. So interlace your hands like that. Squeeze it all between your hands. Drop your hands down. You want to keep the torso straight. Breathe in and then chopping action. Ha! And you're going to do a big noise. Up and in. Ha! Push the floor away with your feet. Ha! That's it. Up and ha! As if you're clearing your lungs. Ha! Push the floor away. Ha! Chop all the stuff into little bits. Ha! Make it smaller. Ha! And smaller. Ha! That's it. Straight body. Ha! Powerful legs. Ha! 3 more. Ha! Ha! And ha! Very good. And just give the whole body a shake, just like the gazelle who's been chased by the lion. Once you get out of danger, you shake the body, you let the adrenaline go, and then you can replace it with fresh prana, fresh life force and energy. So coming back now, if you can, close your eyes and just feel the energy, the tingling on the whole of your body. Very nice. Let your breath become long and smooth again. Taking your breath here underneath the armpits into the intercostal muscles and into the back of your lungs. Allow your jaw to be nice and relaxed. Ah, very good. Now coming into your mountain pose. So normally we have our feet closer together, but we're going to have them a little bit wider this time. A little bit wider. Press your feet down and out so that you create big, wide, hobbit-like feet. And you can imagine you have roots that are going deep, deep down into the earth, like a mountain. And then lifting up out of the vertebra, so you create space and length. And imagine the crown of your head is being pulled up towards the heavens above you. Let your shoulders be nice and soft. Feel as if you have a string from the ridge of the back of your head pulling you up towards the sky, and also a string from the crown of your head. So you're nice and tall, and there's lots of space to breathe. We want to imagine that if we had a big heavy crown on our head, it would be perfectly balanced. So putting that lovely piece of weight on your head so your head feels perfectly balanced on top. Fantastic. So I'm going to get you now to breathe in through the heart center. So this is the heart meridian that comes down through the inside of your arm. So taking the hands into the heart. And now let's have a think about, first of all, the nurses and all the support staff that are working so hard in the hospitals at the moment. So thinking about those people, and as you breathe in, take your arms nice and wide, pull out through those middle fingers, you stretch into that heart meridian, and then as you exhale, close your arms into a big hug, and take your fingertips and rub the top of your shoulders. Imagine you're hugging all of those NHS wonderful nurses and doctors, and breathing in, stretching out through middle fingers again, and breathing out and hugging in the other way. So as we press our own upper back, keep doing this, we are actually stimulating endorphins in our own body. So this is where we have a lot of endorphin and oxytocin receptors on the top of our back. So now imagine you are hugging people who you can't be with right now. So maybe it's a grandparent, big breath in, or maybe it's a parent, squeezing, big hug, breathing in. Maybe it's friends from school, or maybe it's old friends from university days. Maybe it's even the person down the road who you just haven't seen for a while. You want to send them a hug. Maybe it's teachers, just sending big hugs to anybody. You can imagine the whole room is filled with people that you would like to hug. So we breathe in deeply and we go, ah, squeeze. Breathe in a bit faster. Ah, good. Heart energy. And again, and we're stretching the pectoral muscles and we're squeezing the upper back muscles, stimulating these muscles for good posture. Breathing in. Last one. This one is a hug for yourself. Big squeezing hug and give yourself an upper back twist. Very good. Very nice. Now taking that wonderful heart energy and just starting to swirl it around you. So imagine that it is rainbow. It's lots of colors, this heart energy, and we're just spreading it around us. And then bend your knees and see if you can spread it a bit more vigorously. So you're throwing it right out so it spreads across not just your garden, but all the way out through the whole of Farnham and beyond, all the way out through the whole of Surrey, and then all the way out to the whole of England, and even Prime Minister Boris Johnson can feel your big rainbow hug. Very good. Fantastic. Swish and swish, and then come back and stretch out your fingers as if you are an angel. So we have your toes pushing down into the ground. Arms are nice and strong, but our shoulders are relaxed. The jaw is relaxed. Very good. Now turning your toes out to the left. So your front toes are directly out to the left, back toes are turned in, like so. And then drop down into superhero 2. So we're going to be like the NHS staff. We're going to be like those nurses and doctors, and we are the superheroes, and we're sending the superhero energy to them. So we're going to come into this very strong superhero pose, and then turn the palm of your front hand, and we're going to send those rainbow hugs. So as you inhale, pull the rainbow up and over your head, straighten the front line of the body. Exhale, forearm on thigh, rainbow up and over the back of the body. Press through the front heels, send the rainbow up and over your body, and then as you exhale, throw the rainbow. Breathing in to open the body, breathing out to close. Very nice. Rainbows all over the country, in windows, on gates. Just so beautiful. Sending those rainbows. One more. And pause in side angle here. Open the chest. Send that heart energy out. And then push the floor away and come back into your angel pose, turning toes in. And then turning out the other way. So now you've got your right foot turning out straight and your back foot turning in. Dropping down into superhero 2. This is warrior 2, but also it's superhero 2. Turn the palm of the front hand. So once again, imagine you have rainbow energy in this front hand. And as you inhale, pull it up and over your body, boosting your immune system, up and over, throwing that rainbow energy, pressing and lifting, exhaling and folding. Breathing in and sighing out. Very strong legs, and let the upper body is flowing like water, rainbow-like energy. And then this time folding forearm on thigh, back arm up and over, pause here, side angle pose. Touch finger open the door. And then opening the heart center to stretch all the way through the chest. Look down on the ground, push the floor away, slowly come up. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, back. Give yourself a shake. So we're going to do another balance here. We're going to come from superhero 1 or warrior 1, and we're going to go into warrior 3, superhero 3. So let's take one foot out in front. You guys take your right foot out in front and take your left foot back behind you. We're in a high lunge. You press your heel away from you to create a big, deep stretch, a bit like when we're gazelles, all the way down through the quads here. Take your arms out to the sides for balance. Now lift your heart center so we get a little bit of a back bend, and lift your chest up away from your pelvis, but don't let your chest flare too much. It's more of a stretch through your ribs. There we go. Now we're going to come forward slowly to all the weights on that front leg like so, and then press up through your heel, lifting up and gliding into superhero three. Imagine you're a bird and you're flying and looking down at that valley, at that river, at the bottom of the valley. And the waterfall, we can see the waterfall. Drop those back toes onto the ground. Come back into the gazelle shape. So we're still leaping. Wonderful. And then slowly coming down. And we'll do that on the other side. So give your legs a shake. And take the other leg forward. So I'm going to do it facing you now. So your left leg forward now. Drop down into that front leg. We want to make sure the knee is stacking on top of your ankle. So you're nice and strong to your thighs. Take your arms out to the side to balance. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. Lift your heart center. You can turn the palms upwards. Beautiful. The more you push out through your back foot, the stronger this lunge is going to be. And then slowly, slowly come forward. Pause here. Squeeze thigh muscles and then press the heel away from you, lifting all the way up, coming into your balance, maybe flapping your eagle wings. Wonderful. And then dropping those toes back, lifting up through the heart center, arms up and out like antlers. Very good. And then slowly coming back up again. And once again, just give those bodies a shake. Lovely. Okay, so can we come into a balance here and move into stillness? We've been moving a lot. And we're going to now move into the stillness so we're close to our breath. Feel into your heart center. And as you breathe out, push energy down through your feet and imagine you have roots and golden light is pushing deep, deep, deep down into Mother Earth through your roots. And as you breathe back in again, feel the breath coming up through your roots, all the way through the body, through the crown of the head. Beautiful. Take the hands together, press the hands together at your heart center so that you feel as if you're squeezing that orange between your shoulders very gently. Now take all of your weight into your left leg and squeeze your thigh muscles into your thigh bones. So this leg is very strong. And take your other toes onto the ground and heel is up and knees out to the side. So this is tree level 1. If you want to make it a tiny bit harder, take your foot below your knee and you press your foot into your calf. If you want to make it even harder still, you can try grabbing your ankle and placing your foot right up here against your thigh. So this is a lot harder to balance. Pressing your foot and your thigh, squeezing them together, pressing the hands together. Now let the breath root down through your foot, down into the earth. And then as you breathe in, imagine you're pulling that energy up through your roots, up through your tree trunk legs, up through your torso, out through your branches. Lift your branches up and out. Fingertips are alive. And maybe even lifting your heart center and your head, looking upwards. Imagine the blue skies above, the sunshine above you. Smooth, smooth breath. Very good. Soft, smooth, relaxed breath. Then slowly, slowly, slowly coming down. And just pausing for a moment, coming back into your breath, into stillness. We'll do that on the other side. So take the hands together, press the hands firmly together, shoulders are relaxed. Take all the weight into your left leg now, squeezing thigh muscles into thigh bone, turning the toes onto the ground and knee out to the side. Keep pressing the hands together to balance and then lifting the foot up if that feels okay. Maybe even taking the foot right into the groin if that feels okay for you. So this side, yes, it's okay. So now we establish the breath. Press the breath down through your standing leg. Create that root-like sensation down through your foot. And then as you breathe in, feel the energy lifting right up, the prana, right up through the body, up, out through your branches. Stretch out through your branches, out through your fingers like leaves. Maybe lifting the eye gaze up towards the blue, blue sky above. Imagine the sun is big and hot in the sky. Smooth breath. Keep pressing your fingers, pressing your feet, and then slowly coming down. Very nice. Take the hands here into the hip flexors. So you push them back, you bend yourself forward, folding forward, just like that waterfall again. Allow yourself to come to a forward fold. If you like forward folding and you have relatively open hamstrings, press your feet into the ground and straighten your legs as much as you can to get that stretch in the back of the legs. If that hurts your lower back, keep your knees bent and just let the weight of your head traction the back of your neck. So we get a nice stretch through the neck. Give your head a swish from side to side. And then just as if you are water, flow down like a paddle down into that river. Flow onto your backs like so. Rest onto your back. And then imagine your knees, which are bent up towards the sky, like parts of the river. So drop them over to one side. So you get a bit of a twist, going through a bit of churning bit of the river, and then twist to the other side. So the knees drop over one side and then the other. And you can turn your head as well, allowing the body to be very fluid. And just imagine that your body is the water in the river and we're flowing around rocks. We're just bending the knees from side to side. Very nice. That's it. Great. And then coming back into the center, keep your knees directly on top of your heels. Push your heels into the ground and flow up through your spine. So we lift up into a bridge and then we roll back down again. And as we roll back down, we let our bottom be relaxed. We push through the heels, we push the floor away. That activates the bottom muscles. We create a strong back line of the body. And then we roll back down and everything is soft. So we create action and then we create relaxation. Do this a couple more times. Use your breath to infuse your body, coming up and down. Massaging the spine. And then perhaps you'd like to stay up this time, staying up in your still bridge. Imagine the river's rushing underneath us. Take your hands towards each other. Press your hands down into the ground, or if you can reach, maybe interlace your fingers and then press the fists down into the ground and your forearms. And then allow your knees to stretch out. So we stretch the whole front line of the body, whereas the back line is all active through the bottom. So you're still like a bridge. And you imagine the water is rushing underneath you. Breathe in deeply. And as you exhale, have your hands out again and very slowly, so take 2 or 3 breaths, very, very slowly roll back down. So 1 vertebra at a time. And let your back just settle into the ground, and then take your knees up and do big circles with your knees. So take your hands onto your knees, massage your femurs, those are your thigh bones, into your pelvis. So imagine that these are spoons and you're just stirring and stirring. Nice big pot of porridge. Stirring. Great. Now press your feet up towards the ceiling and pull your toes down towards you. So we stretch the back of our legs and just rub the back of your legs. Rub, rub, rub. So we create a bit of heat here. And then turn your toes out, but keep your heels together and rub the outside of your legs. So we get a nervy stretch on the outside of the legs and just rub into that. Very good. And one more time, toes towards your eyes. Rub the back of your legs. Great. And then bend your knees down towards your armpits. You can let your feet be floppy, so you turn into frogs. So take the knees wide, toes together. So this is your frog legs. And then see if you can hold onto your ankles or onto your shins and press your knees wide so we stretch the inside of our thighs. So just like a frog. And if you want to go ribbit, ribbit. Fantastic. Now imagine you are a frog now sitting on a lily pad. So we're going to be upside down frogs. Stick your feet up towards the ceiling or towards the sky. Drop your knees down towards your armpits and see if you can either grab your ankles, or some of you might even be able to take your fingertips and reach the inside of your feet, the arches of your feet, and pull your feet down towards the ground. So we come into this big kind of we're like a baby, aren't we? We're like we're a baby just holding our feet, or like a frog that's sitting on an upside down lily pad, and you can just rock from side to side and massage your spine here. Really nice to massage the spine. Very good. Fantastic. And then take your knees together. The last twist, arms out to the side. Drop your knees over to one side and then look out over your other shoulder. So we turn our back into a big corkscrew and take some very relaxing breaths now. Feel your whole spine release. So sighing out breath, breathing in. And last one. Very good. And then just let your knees come up and over to the other side, drifting your knees up and over to the other side. Hand can support your knees, looking out over your other shoulder. And again, 3 sighing breaths out. Fantastic. So you can now either flop onto your back. If you happen to have a pillow nearby, it's really nice to put a pillow underneath your knees and let your knees drop out to the side and have your palms facing up. You can take your feet together and knees out to the side like you're a butterfly. And it's quite nice just to let your hands rest on your belly if you're doing this relaxation. Or if you're inside and you've got a sofa nearby or a wall nearby, Libby, can you come over here so I can demonstrate? You can put your legs up the wall. So actually, I'm going to put you here. So you just need to put your hip against the wall. You put your hip against the wall here, darling. That's the way. And then lie down with your legs up the wall. So you are nice and relaxed. And the weight of your legs is just dropping down into your pelvis. If you've got a couch there, you can just put your legs over the edge of the couch. And it's quite nice to have a bit of a blanket or a pillow underneath your bottom if you're in this inversion. So if you put your feet into the ground, you're going to put that underneath your bottom. Does that feel okay? Okay, so if you're going into your relaxation, Pat's going to just lie down here. So I can, you lie down. Yeah, you lie down here. And I'm going to put a pillow underneath your legs so you can relax. So, why don't you do it like this? So just lie down with your legs here. Come this way so you've got space for your head. That's it. And then put this pillow underneath your knees and lie back. Great. Now, mums, if you are organising kids, you might want to do the spaghetti test. So let your legs be nice and relaxed, Patch. Let your legs be relaxed. That's it. So the spaghetti test is this. You pick up a limb and you make sure it's very, very relaxed. So you might shake it and make sure it's just like cooked spaghetti. Patrick doesn't like his feet being touched. That wasn't such a good idea. All right, so find a nice relaxed position and then give the whole of your body a bit of a shake. Make sure that you've got that spaghetti-like stillness. Wriggle your jaw from side to side. And then take 3 changing breaths. So this is just to tell your body and tell your mind it's now time to settle and to integrate your yoga practice. So you breathe in through your nostrils and then you sigh out and go, and take 2 more of those. And again. Fantastic. And just adjusting everything so that you are completely comfortable. If you need to move your position at all, if you need to put a blanket over you, please do so. Just getting nice and warm and comfortable. And letting the body start to slide into complete relaxation. All floppy, like that well-cooked spaghetti. And if thoughts come into your head while we're doing relaxation, when you notice them, just allow them to float away like clouds in the blue sky and come back to the sound of my voice and the sensations of your relaxed body. Now just imagine that you are in that beautiful, green, lush, tranquil valley that we saw when we were eagles. And just imagine that there is a softly flowing river down at the bottom of this valley. And the river is sparkling clear, and the banks are filled with fragrant flowers, and they're all in blossom. And there is a peace and a tranquility, and there is a deep natural wisdom in this place. Just imagine that you're floating now along this river. Just feel yourself floating, just enjoying the slow and soothing ride down the river. Imagine that the sun is dappling through overhead trees and that the breeze is light. Whichever way the river carries you, you know it's okay because you feel safe, you feel protected, you feel loved. There's so much freedom in surrender to the flow of the river and all its twists and turns. And you know that sometimes the water is churning and the ride is bumpy. And sometimes the water flows fast and furious. And at other times, the water is flowing steadily, and very slowly. It's all part of the way of the river, and it's all okay. And just imagine now that you have arrived in an eddy. There is a pool that's just off the main river. And at first, you worry that you've left the main river. But then you realize that you are actually surrounded by rich green moss, and the trees around you are beautiful and very abundant. And the whole area is bathed in warming sunlight. And there in the corner is the magnificent waterfall that you spotted from the sky. And you decide to step underneath this waterfall. And you feel the wonderful pressure of the crystal clear water pouring down onto your head, relishing this pressure, feeling the massaging effect of the water pouring down as if the whole of your skull is relaxing, feeling all the little muscles around your eyes and your cheeks soften and your jaw relax, feeling the whole of your neck relax, shoulders softening, relaxation pouring down through your chest, your arms, down through your back and your belly, down through the pelvis, down through your thighs, heavy down through your shins, and down into your calves and your feet, feeling the whole of your body washed clean with your gentle awareness. The whole of your body relaxed. The whole body so relaxed now that you start to feel lighter, as if there is more air in your body, as if the whole body is expanding, as if you are floating. And just imagine that you have floated out of the river and you've landed in a particularly lush green part of the valley underneath a magnificent old tree with beautiful leaves. The sky above is so blue. It feels as if you are surrounded in clear blue, developing an awareness of the whole of your body, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, enveloped in clear blue. There is so much abundance here. Complete stillness, awareness of the whole body. And then just imagining that one of the leaves from the big old tree above you has fallen. And in your mind's eye, watch the leaf flow from the left to the right, to the left, to the right, as it slowly drops down onto the lush green grass. And know that that is your cue to start breathing more deeply now. Noticing the coolness of the inhalation through your nostrils and the warmth of the breath as it leaves the body. Start to breathe more deeply so that your lungs expand and you start to feel awake from the inside out. Start to feel this invigorating in-breath flowing through the whole of your body. And as you deepen your breath now, allowing yourself to become aware of where you are lying in space and time, visualizing the room you're in, walls, the ceiling. Starting to deeply breathe so that the breath flows down into fingers and toes, and just wriggle fingers and toes. Slowly move the head from side to side. And then take your hands together and rub them. Rub your hands. So we start to invigorate both the left and right hemisphere of the brain when we do this. So rubbing the hands, making a lovely heat between your hands. Rub, 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 rub. As hard as you can. We want to get lots of energy between the hands. And then stop and pause and take the hands a little bit apart so you can feel that energy between your hands, playing with it. And then press that energy, that heat, into your eyes. So massage with your hands around the sockets of your eyes, feeling the heat going right through your eyeballs, right deep inside your brain. Very good. And then very slowly take those fingers away. Just massage the outside of your eyes, around the eye sockets. Very slowly opening the eyes. Very good. And I'm going to get you now, depending on how you're feeling, to either roll over to one side into the fetal position, or if you feel like you want to wake your body up, tuck yourself into a little ball like this, and then start to rock and roll up and down your spine. So when we do this, we invigorate the central nervous system. We wake everything back up again. So whichever thing you're doing, slowly make your way up to a seated position. So Liv, you need to take your legs down the wall. That's it. Roll over to one side. Come and sit in a comfortable position so we have a nice tall spine again. And move your head and find that spot where the head is perfectly positioned on top of your neck. And let your shoulders be nice and relaxed. Good. And let your jaw be nice and relaxed. Very good. And then just taking your fingertips out to the side like so. Turn the palms to face the ceiling. And as you breathe in, imagine a rainbow is being lifted up and around your body. And then as you exhale, just go. So breathe in. Big invigorating breath. Stretch the hands, stretch the spine, and then go ha. Last one. Deep, full, invigorating breath in. Hold the top of the rainbow. Stretch up. And then go, ah, fantastic. Take one hand onto your heart and the other hand, actually we're going to take both hands here. Just once again, going into that gratitude space where we think about how incredibly fortunate we are to have our health at this moment in time and thinking about all the people who are working so hard to protect us. And as you breathe in, take your hands out, out, out wide, stretch out through those middle fingers. Imagine that you've got them all in front of you, and then as you breathe out, hug. Squeeze and hug, and give the upper back a little bit of a pat here where we have our own endorphin and oxytocin stimulating receptors. And again, breathing in and then hug the other way. Beautiful. Okay, taking the hands into the heart center, just to acknowledge yourself for coming and just doing something nice with your family for the end of today's Tuesday. Namaste. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you again sometime soon. If you do enjoy yoga with the kids, calmer kids and fun, and do regular kids yoga practices, I specialize in women's health, so normally helping women with recovering after birth or long-term perimenopausal, menopausal issues. So I've got my women's health classes are running regularly. I'd love you to join me. My husband Mike and I are actually doing a men's class on a Friday at 6 p.m. So if you'd like to join or get your partners to join in for a men's class, that would be awesome. But yes, please do keep supporting Yoga Mums and supporting the Feeding the Frontline initiative. And I hope you all stay well. Keep boosting your immune system. All right, thank you so much, everybody. Take care. Bye. Thank you. Bye.